everybody.
Welcome to All That Matters and More. Ikamala Motutu.
And I'm Komiki, and welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. But before we dive right into it, we just wanted to give you guys a quick disclaimer and to let you know that the content we will be providing today is for entertainment, educational, and informative purposes.
Yes, guys, that the information, opinions, as well as recommendations provided by us should be by no means considered as medical or professional advice.
Hey.
Hi,
how are you, my girl?
Girl, I am so awesome in yourself.
I'm good. I'm so excited about today.
I mean, we have a fabulous guest with us. I mean, she's an entertainer, a fashion designer, a model, a YouTuber, like an all-round fashionista. Like,
Wait.
This, I came through. You better know. You better recognize. Thank you so much.
Hi, Yaone, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. That was such a cute introduction. This is so cool. It's so cool to be here.
How does it feel being on the other side?
No, it's insane. It is insane because I have a show on YouTube and we literally do this. But like watching you guys do it, it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
Okay, on your show, please let us know about your show so that our guests and viewers our viewers can definitely like tune in and be clued up.
Okay, so let me just introduce myself. Hi, I'm Yaone Refentse, aka your one and only, aka ASAP Yao.
Okay.
I'm one half of Sister Party. Sister Party is, what is it not? It is entertainment, it is high fashion, it is editorial makeup, and it's all conveniently here on YouTube. So make sure that you subscribe to Sister Party on YouTube. Check us out. We do some really cool things. We've gone behind the scenes of Fashion Week. We cover the fashions at, things like Rich and Nisi's parties and Daisy's. But we also, as you know, I'm a fashion designer, so I make my own clothes and my sister does makeup. It's just an all-round hot girl fun experience. That's what it is.
Yeah, and you need to add on that you've really worked with really famous brands,
Yeah, I mean, my career, I think, in, the content creation space has been about, I would say about like 8 years now.
What?
Yeah, I remember I was in second year when I started, and that's when Instagram was still new and we were still posting like our coffee, Yeah, and since then I've worked with, I can't even say, like Woolies and Levi's and, the BAM Collective. I can't even think of all the brands, but we've just we've worked with brands. Yeah.
And I think I really must say, okay, sorry guys, Yaone is my friend, just by the way. I have to throw that out there. I know her. And I think one thing that I've just generally loved about our friendship as well is that we've always just been so driven. Not just only that, but we've always been checking on each other. Like, hey, are you doing this? How are you moving forward? And basically like women empowerment, And I think that's so important, especially like in your industry and you trying to maneuver to get to where you need to get to in the right way, So obviously seeing as it is Women's Month, like what's important to you, or what would you say, like what's the pinnacle of like women empowerment?
I think just, even just me being here right now is to me women empowerment. We started Sister Party. I mean, sister, women, femme, It's not just women, but it's everyone who identifies as, a femme or a femme body or as a woman, just like feminine energy. That's what we're about. So, and we really wanted to champion and highlight the women or femme bodies in the industry who are making it happen, because there's no way that men have are always involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At some point, the girlies can stand up and be like, we can do this by ourselves.
And then you have your own voice as well.
You know what I mean? So that's why we started Sister Party. And then from that, it's grown. So to be able to have women and femme bodies and people that we admire in the industry on our show, and then also to, be on something like this on your show, it really is just about all of us coming together seriously and just looking each other in the eye and holding hands and being like, I support you, you support me, show up for me, I show up for you, and let's take it to the top. Let's go. Let's help each other out. Let's show up for each other. What advice do you have for me that I can use? What advice do I have for you that you can use? It's just that exchanging of communication, just really building a community. That's women empowerment.
Oh, I love that. And I think also just touching on women empowerment, because you do work closely with your sister. I mean, you guys do literally
everything together.
I've seen it. So obviously, with partnership more so, there's like a bit of conflict that happens.
Yeah.
So then how do you guys, outside of being sisters, when it comes to business, how do you guys maneuver through that to be like, okay, yes, we are going through a hurdle, but this is how we come on top of it?
I think between the two of us, we're really fortunate that my sister actually studied psychology at UCT.
Okay.
Yeah, so she knows like conflict resolution. She knows like, she knows how to diffuse a situation or the right way to approach something or just like, psychology things, psych things.
As psych girls.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So she was very aware from the beginning that, hey, we need to figure out our like relationship outside of this and within this as business partners, as sisters. And she also gave me the vocab, that's so that we could both communicate like, hey, I'm not happy with this, but it doesn't affect, the work or our personal relationships. So yeah, that's how we've managed to do that. It's not easy because at the end of the day, no relationship is, whether it's you and your mom or you and your brother, you and your friends, like there's always conflict. That's so normal, but it's really how you communicate and accommodate the other person to be like, I know Komiki, for example, doesn't like to be shouted at when I'm angry. So I need to bring it together when I'm angry and be like, Komiki, I am not happy with ABC. It made me feel ABC. Yeah. Can we in future ABC? It's really about communication when it comes to all relationships, and that's really our strong point. That's how we make it happen.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to
go? You may go. I'll go after.
Okay. So then I think I just love how you put it in terms of like communication within conflict is very much key.
Yeah.
And I think, have you ever had your own internal battles in terms of how far you've come with your success, in terms of now you being an entertainer and being in the entertainment business and actually working with like such huge brands, with everybody around you, and because obviously you get to interact with different people. You meet people who are starting, and you meet people who are far ahead of you,
established.
And you sometimes meet someone who today was nobody, and then boom, tomorrow,
somebody.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, I've been in this industry for a while. I've seen my peers literally shoot to international stardom, but I'm also seeing my peers like fall off because it was too difficult, I've seen it all. I've seen the overnight success where literally you're partying with somebody in Brom, next thing they're popping the bottles at Rockets because they're
a huge billboard.
Do you know what I mean? There's a billboard, all the brands are on board. So I've seen all of that. Sorry, what's the question?
The question is, with
the internal battles.
Do you really have an internal battles in terms of like sort of like imposter syndrome, or you just, I think envy does happen or jealousy at some point. Do you also what on negative self-talk? You self-berate, stuff like that.
Yeah, I really unfortunately can relate to all of that. Imposter syndrome, negative self-talk, just doubts in myself. Like, am I even meant to be doing entertainment? I got accepted for a BSc at UCT. Should I have studied something more scientific? You know what I mean? Like regretting the choices I've made, just like the whole thing. But I think that's also a thing that creatives go through. It's unfortunately so sad that it's just kind of like a rite of passage. There's some point you're going to doubt everything about am I even that good? Am I talented? Is it like adding to the world in any kind of positive way? Is this my purpose? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really have struggled with that. I'm not going to say it's over. It's still an ongoing thing. I think, it's so cliche, I think though, but when we started Sister Party, I really found my purpose. I really found my thing because it allows me to be a creative in every sense of the, in every way. I can be an interior designer one day. I can be an art director.
Because you guys do change things.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we do a lot, and one day I can be a presenter, but one day I can be an actor, and no one can tell me anything, I can do whatever I want. And that's what, I feel like Instagram, you can't really show all the sides of your creativity. You know what I mean? But on our show,
like 3-dimensional. Like,
you know what I mean? I was I'm going to do whatever I want to do creatively, however, and I'm going to present it in this way. And now I feel very at home. So now I feel like, I found my thing, and this negative self-talk has definitely decreased. I will say that.
Yeah.
Especially when people come up and they're like, I really enjoy your show. Thank you for the work that you're doing, or things like that. But yeah, I think, dude, self-talk, negative self-talk, self-hate, all of that needs to go, but it's a part of...
Yeah, definitely.
It's part of reality.
It's not like a mental health thing as well. I think it ties in very closely with where your mental health is, because my mental health has been shaky my entire life, And unfortunately, but fortunately for me, I got diagnosed, like properly diagnosed, when I was in varsity. So like high school was really tricky. But after that, I started like finding my feet. I was like, okay, what is depression?
So you were diagnosed with depression?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I was, I think, in second year or something like that. And then I got put on like the most intense antidepressants. Luckily, you see, it's a journey as well, because at the time it wasn't a thing that everybody's speaking about. Mental health wasn't.
And it has now evolved, at least, you know.
Now it's a conversation that we have all the time. But remember, when we were
Everybody
growing up, it wasn't.
Nobody. You
wasn't
didn't
a thing,
even know
dude.
what
Like,
depression
honestly,
was.
it wasn't a thing.
Depressed or you know, there was always something.
There was always
an
something.
excuse to cover
you know, and
what
our
it
parents
actually
didn't
was.
understand. You know what I mean? And like, imagine in grade 4, not knowing why you don't want to wake up, or like why you don't want to go to school.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't explain it to like anyone, but it's like, I just want to be in bed all day. We didn't have the vocab to be like, okay, guys, I'm really depressed right now. You know what I mean? So right now it's a conversation, which I think is really important. And like I'm saying, it ties in very closely with being a creative, because those mood swings, those up and downs, then you start projecting that onto your work.
Because I was also, like, sorry to jump in there, I also wanted to say, like, in terms of your mental health and, like, mental illness, you know, like, I think it's so important that we touch on it as a creative. I think we necessarily also as well don't pay close attention to what you guys go through. I think we just kind of assume you guys are always so beautiful, you guys are always so pretty, and we also, I guess, create a facade that because you guys are beautiful, this is how you need to be all the time. You guys are not allowed to have emotions. You guys are not allowed to be some type of way today and some type of way like this. But with the pressure of that, like, how difficult is that as well? Because I can only imagine now you going through your mental illness, you're trying to find that journey, and then now you have to deal with pressure, and then now you have to deal with this, you know? So it seems like it's a cycle that's never ending because of what we're doing that's wrong as well, by creating this beautiful facade of you guys are only supposed to be perfect and that's it.
I don't think it's like I don't think it's the facade that necessarily like individuals are creating. I think just, you see Instagram culture.
Societal norm, actually.
Societal norms is just to put your best foot forward. And obviously everyone's best foot is their best foot. And if you constantly see somebody putting like their best foot, you think, oh, they're like
That's
this
what you
all the
measure it
time.
up to,
Do you know what I mean? But you don't know that in between those 2 days when she was like in the high glam, she was in pajamas and like, you know, couldn't shower and was crying her eyes out. You know what I mean? Things like that. So societal norms is like really warped the way that we look at things. I think, what's your question again?
Like, my question is, like, in terms of the pressure and the mental health and the mental illness as a creative, like, how are you overcoming that, you know? How are you finding your best foot forward, you know?
Oh, okay. So there's something.
How are you dealing,
Yeah,
basically?
what I wanted to say is, I think for me, because, you know, it wasn't a topic that was widely discussed when I was growing up, when I really, really needed to know what was happening with my body and my mind, I don't think I will ever be silent. I'm definitely going to tell. Like, I'm very open about the fact that I am depressed. You know, I'm dealing with depression and I'm medicated and on blah, blah, blah.
And you
know what I
do
mean?
come across depressive episodes.
Yeah, like I just got out of one, like, you know, 2 weeks ago. And also on top of that, like, there's seasonal depression. So I'm a summer baby. When it gets cold, I don't function well.
You have an age.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. So there's seasonal depression, then there's actual depression, then there's like the economy of South Africa falling around us.
Honestly.
And we need to, like, we're all just trying to hustle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're seeing like the people that you love struggle, and you're seeing yourself struggle, and you know that we can't help each other because we're all drowning, you know what I mean? So like that, it does take a toll, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go down without a fight. There's no way, guys. I was born for luxury. There is no way this is my story. There is no way it's gonna end like this.
It can never be your story. And for anybody, even at home, if you ever feel like you are going through like crazy emotions and, you know, you have issues that you need to deal with, I think you need to literally keep yourself motivated throughout all of it.
You need to find your why. You need to find like why did I start this? They always say that. Find why did you start this? And sometimes it's hard. It's really, I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, and I just get over it and it's so easy. It's really, really tough. It's really difficult.
So can I ask, so, you know, first year, right? When you were diagnosed, second year?
Second year.
Second year. So for you, what was happening, if you're very comfortable to share, what was happening that you or your family kind of realized that, you know what, actually, me as Yaone Refentse, right now, I'm not okay, and this is, I'm not representing my best self. And me and as a family, because at the time you're quite young, you know, so family support is key. So what was it with you and your family that sort of snapped to say, no, my baby needs to be okay?
So it was just on me fully, and I'll never forget the day. I don't want to say too much about it because there's like other people involved.
Yeah.
But I was, you know, at work. I was working in retail at the time.
Yeah.
And I just saw something online that I think it had been a build up over some time. And then I just snapped. Literally, that's how it was. And I told my boss, listen, I need to go to the doctor, like right now. And I left early. He was like, okay, he was so kind. Shout out to him. He let me go. I went to the doctor. I went straight to the doctor and I was like, I'm really not okay. You know, I'm just everything, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to trigger warnings, you know, suicide, hurting myself, like all of it. I was just like, I'm really not okay. And then he put me on 70 milligrams of, I forgot what it was, but it was really, really intense. I was like a zombie for 2 years. My parents also still didn't know what was really going on. So I wouldn't say that they really understood. And that's not their fault. I'm not going to blame them. I understand it wasn't something that they were used to. I was the first one. Yeah, I was the first one in our family to be going through this. So we're all just trying to figure it out together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how it happened with me. And then since then, it's definitely gotten better. Only now, I would say also, funny enough, in the last maybe year, I'm a lot more open with my parents to be like, okay, guys, I think I'm ready to slow down because my goal in life is one day to be off antidepressants. I'd love that, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes things get a bit tricky. Things get harder again, you know? And it's okay because, you know, it's okay to get back on medication. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to be on your meds. It's okay to just need a little bit of help. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. There's no shame around that. That's all I want. I really want, My sister and I have to remind ourselves of that, you know? It's okay to need meds.
Yeah,
even if you've been off of them for a little bit. Because there was a time when I'm let me...
You think everything is okay. It's
you know
no,
what I mean? Things
going
are better.
good.
And I'm let me take one antidote every second day or every third day. Let me start getting off of them.
Yeah.
And then life switches up.
Ooh,
life starts throwing hands.
hands.
And you're like, okay,
Hectic.
you know, we need to go back. And it's it feels like one step forward, one step back, but it's okay. It's the journey.
Yeah.
That's the journey.
And that's the thing about mental health. Hey, it's
Yeah.
a journey.
That's the thing.
You will never know. You could be really facing the highs and then immediately face the lows, and then it's just medium. You know, you good, you bad, it's just there, but you just monitored.
Yeah, and one thing that I love that you guys said, guys, it really is just okay.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, it is okay. And I love the fact that you said that it's a journey as well, guys, because you don't wake up and everything is okay. And even after you have overcome that hurdle, guys, you still have to make sure you check in with yourself. You still have to make sure that you're good, you're being consistent, you know. And I think that's the one thing that we all sometimes forget is even after that hurdle, guys, you do not want to go back there. That's why you try your very level best to push and to move forward and to look back to be this is where I was, and that is not where I want to see myself, you know? So we move forward.
We do.
Sure.
We move. Pambili.
So how do you go pambili? Manja, you know, let's say, hey, baby, niwa. So how do you say, baby girl, vuga?
I think work inspires me. I think one thing that I've done wrong maybe is, and I'm still working through this, I've tied my self-worth to my career and my work, you know, and that's not a good thing because I am still a person, even if I'm not designing, even if I'm not on YouTube, you know what I mean? I'm still an individual. And that person still has worth, you know? True. So for me, I feel much better when I have things to do, you know, when I can get pretty and you know, we on the town, we're shooting, we're coming up with crazy ideas, or I'm saying, we're making clothes or something like that. That's how I kind of get out of it. I think talking as well. I talk to my sister, crying. I'm not really much of a crier, but when I cry, it builds up. You know how men and it's also again, men, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Okay? But you know how they positioned it they wait until the very last and then they explode and they cry for 10 years, for the next 10 years, and then the next 10 years they're good.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I don't really cry that often, but when I do cry, it's it helps.
It helps. So Karen,
sounds crazy.
It actually does, to be honest. You know,
crying does help, guys.
No, honestly, crying
Comment
does
down
help.
below if you think crying helps.
No, Community cries a lot.
I cry a lot. I'm not gonna
cries.
tell. I need to cry because you know what? It's for me. Unfortunately, I feel everything like physically. I internalize a lot of my things, so I can feel it. It sits here. It's not nice. It's either then I'm gonna get angry or I need to cry. So for me, I think, and I used to be so ashamed of crying. Oh, long story short, I used to be ashamed of crying, but for me, unfortunately, I feel everything physically. So
we're all different, guys.
Yeah, if I don't cry, it sits here, and if it sits here, no, it's here.
We don't want
that. We don't want that.
We don't want that.
So currently, what are you unlearning? So regarding your mental health and basically how to go about appreciating yourself or seeing your self-worth as an individual outside of your workspace.
I think what I'm unlearning, like I'm saying, is the stigma around, first of all, having this, disorder, this, what do we call this?
The mental disability.
It's like just coming to terms with the fact that my brain has never produced enough serotonin, and there is nothing wrong with that because I'm not the only person.
You're not the only person.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not the only person. Unlearning the stigma of, okay, being on antidepressants, like, it's something like be like, we should really like whisper about, just to be like, guys, okay, hey, I'm on antidepressants, and right now, actually, I'm on anti-anxieties too, sometimes life gets hectic,
Yeah.
I'm also unlearning, what else am I unlearning about mental health? I'm just coming to terms with the fact that we're all going through it. Especially our generation. I know our parents will not understand this because they're like, you guys are supposed to suffer. But we're suffering, our suffering is a lot different.
Yeah, it's hectic.
No, it's very hectic.
It's hectic.
So just really extending that empathy to a lot of people. Like if somebody's like, okay, let's meet up, let's work, or let's meet up, let's do this. And then they're like, actually, I can't do this because I'm not feeling that great today. To extend that empathy, like, okay, I know some days you wake up and you just don't want to leave the house, or some days you wake up and you can't imagine putting on makeup and talking to a camera, you know what I mean? Or just like things happen, it's been a rough week and you're like, to film this right now would be insane. And then I know I organized all of these people and all of these people, guys, can you please extend it by 1 week? Just, I'll be on my A game then. Just to extend empathy. I've learned to do that. Yeah, that's kind of the journey that I'm on with that.
Okay, and then just to any young lady who's sitting there, who's probably going through the most right now, who's thinking that she's not good enough to do content creating, there's probably a girl sitting there who's just like, she is me, and I want to do something that's similar. And I think just to everybody and anybody right now who's kind of just not necessarily are accepting of their mental illness, what would you say to them in order for them to like move forward in a very positive and a good way, so they can eventually find their light and their why?
I think, I hate to say it because it takes so much. Exercise really helps, like consistent exercise.
Yeah,
it really does help, and I should actually be taking notes myself.
Like, do you need a pen?
When last did I hit the gym? But when I'm in it, it really does help you. Because I also know we live in a country where things are expensive. And not everybody has medical aid. Even to be on antidepressants is a privilege. You know what I mean? For my medical aid to pay for that is a privilege. There are a lot of people who can't get that access. You know what I mean? And also even just a therapist. Like I'm in a position where right now I can't, talk to a therapist as often as I would like to. So I understand that like some of the things that we talk about, or some of the fixes for these things are really inaccessible to some people. How do we move forward? Girl, we get up and we try. Girl, what can I say? What can I say? It depends. Like, how do you want your story to end, Like I'm saying, it only like 2 days ago, I was like, no, man, no. There's no way I'm going to be this sad and this pretty. I have all of this talent. Like, I know the odds might not be set up against me, but I still see myself. I can see myself on an international stage. Like, your dreams are valid.
Yeah.
And you owe it to yourself to make that happen. I'm not saying it's easy. It's really difficult. Again, it's not easy. On a day-to-day basis to wake up and be like, I am Rihanna. I'm gonna, because Rihanna has help, She has somebody tying her shoes. She has somebody doing her hair.
Literally, she has full stop.
Me, I have to do it myself and then still walk out of the house and then still take all the content. You know what I mean? It's not easy. But like, again, your why. Why did you start? What message did you want to put out? What's your purpose? What's your dream? What is your dream? make it happen. You have to make it happen, girl. Like, girl, I believe in you. I believe in you.
No,
I believe in you because I believe in me. I really believe in me. I know it'll happen in its time, and it might take time, and that's fine. You know, it's not easy. It might happen in your 30s, and you think that's late, but it's actually not. Like 30 is actually still pretty young. No,
totally agree with you. I agree with you on that part.
because you're still young, you still look like this. You know, black don't crack. Shout out to us.
I know that's right.
Yeah, so we're still gonna look like this, just with more money and more stability.
And I think sometimes people, like, we've always touched on like societal norms. It's like you're always comparing yourself to something that's not even there. You know, we're not even certain if like the individual that made $1 million at 30 or made $1 billion at 30, what opportunities did they have in their own life? And reality is, you know, like we touched on, like overnight success. You could literally be at the top at one point and then down at the other, vice versa. So that's how I'm like.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's just the thing of maybe societal norms. I don't know, but you know. But I guess at the end of the day, like you can, as long as you're just moving and you do what you want to do and you get to wherever you want to get to, you know, then 30 is definitely, I mean, pretty young. Some people start years later, you know, and they become like so amazing. Or it takes them, like you're mentioning, like brands take forever. Like some of the brands that we love today, like biscuit brands, for example, they started in like late back in the day. And it's only making like such a massive buzz and they're doing so well now.
You want to compare yourself to that? Come on. I've only been an adult, for a couple of years.
You know what I'm saying? So
I've only been for 2 years, guys. Like I just entered into
you
this
see,
new
so think of yourself as like a 2-year-old, but in your adult life, you're still so young in your adult life. It's only when you get to 30 that's when you're like, okay, I've had about 10 years of experience of being an adult. That's when things start to make sense. Before that, relax.
And I think, you know, touching on, I think sometimes we make the mistake of applying unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Like it's not required. Like you said, you're not competing with anybody. You're not in a race. Like, gold medal, guys, just stick in your lane. And guys, so you can't be a sprinter and then we high jump and then do long jump. Just decide. And then
and I guess you're never too late.
It's never too late. Guys.
You're never too late. You're not too late. You're not early. Like I think you're fine where you are as long as you are moving at your pace.
No, as long as you're doing your best, literally all you can give is your best. If at the end of the day you go to you get into bed and you're like, today I did as much as I possibly could do. And that's different on different days. That's the thing. On the days when you're going through a depressive episode, if it's just to eat, shower and like pack up, you know, tidy up your room, if that's your best, you did your best. But on a day when you're like, you know, you're in your elements and you're like, okay, I'm going to knock out my workout. Then I'm going to go do the groceries. Then I'm going to write a book. And then I'm going to, you know, film this and edit this. If that's your best, that's your best. But just do your best every day. Then you can't be mad at yourself.
Yeah, that is true actually. Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you, Yaone has been dropping gems throughout the whole episode. You know, she's not only smart,
but
my God. I can't know my lento, guys, but you know what? She's just intelligent and very beautiful, and we really appreciate you. Like, you're in River. And
you know, I've been wanting to come as well. Like,
she actually has been as well.
So excited. It's just like things happened, you know. Yeah. Things were so mutual. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. You know, my homegirl. I'm proud of both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, show. This is not an easy thing to do. I know from experience.
We've come a long way, actually. Yeah.
And it'd be like that, right? It's so fun to look back and you're like, wow, the first episode is so different to this one. You know?
100.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, man.
So keep doing your best. Thank you for shining your lights. Thank you for the space that you're taking up. You know, I think mental health, you know, is important. From 2 psychologists to degreed up girls.
I know that's right.
I know that's right. Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely my take from this, like, thank you so much. I think for me, the why will always stick with me. Like, definitely the why, guys, and just like running your own race, like we mentioned, and just finding your sole purpose as to why I want to do this and how I want to achieve and how I want to be happy at the end of the day, you know? So I think the why is so important, and thank you so much. I'll always keep that with me. Like,
I'm glad we have this episode. Yeah, we can always just look back. When you need a pep talk,
come here.
I'm going to watch this episode.
Okay, you know, before we sign out, please let us know where our peeps can definitely find you, find Sister Party.
Okay, so as I said, Yaone Refentse, That's me on Instagram, Yaone_Refentse. You can also find me sister_party on Instagram or sister party on YouTube or sister_party_ on TikTok. Don't follow my Twitter. That's just a bit of a mess. Let's not do that. Yeah.
And yes, guys, if you are looking for us, you can definitely email us on info@mattersandmore.co.za.
Yes, guys, and also please engage with us on Instagram. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Instagram, Matters and More. We do know when you guys do have a little bit of time, just hop onto YouTube, no hesitation at all. Like and subscribe and share, please, with everybody. Yeah.
Share this. Subscribing is important. Share this with everybody like that you love. Share this with the WhatsApp group. We know you're putting them on your stories. We see them. Put this on your story too.
And yes, guys, oh my gosh, that is so nice. Thank you so much.
No, guys, I know.
And yes, guys, that's it from us.
Oh, must I say bye to that one?
Yeah, you can quickly say bye.
But
okay?
can they see me?